Chapter 2353. Have you become a father yet? The target of these mechanical puppets is Lin Moyu. In the eyes of the Supreme Being, Lin Moyu is the main culprit. It might also be because Lin Moyu absorbed some of the source power, completely enraging him. For whatever reason, it is not wrong for him to want to kill Lin Moyu. The mechanical puppets were very fast. The skeleton god generals and the undead army were busy fighting the Star Warriors and couldn't come back to stop them in time. Lin Moyu had a thought, and the Death Dragon Knight Legion moved out. Led by the Legion rulers, though their combat power was not as strong as the undead army, they were still superior to the skeleton god generals. Under the Dominion technique, the Legion rulers possessed the power of mid-level supreme beings. The Legion ruler swung his battle blade, delivering a fatal blow to meet the mechanical puppets. The laser sword in the mechanical puppet's hand suddenly extended to an unimaginable length, instantly surpassing 10,000 meters. The light sword swung through the starry sky at an unreasonable speed, and the Legion rulers along with their Death Dragon Knight Legion were collectively shattered into pieces. The speed was too fast and everything happened in an instant. The combat power of these mechanical puppets surpassed that of a Do Emperor. Lin Moyu finally understood what it meant by myriad paths of the Great Tao. The cultivation path of the Great World was just one of them. Technological cultivation paths could also be very powerful and mysterious. Just like the technological treasure that turned Xiao Zhantian into the human emperor, it couldn't be explained by the Great World's Tao.
This must be his real backup plan.
Lin Moyu thought calmly, planning to summon the Divine Lich. Although these mechanical puppets were strong, Lin Moyu believed his Divine Lich was even stronger. If he had a backup plan, so did Lin Moyu. Just as he was about to summon it, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped. A sword light cut through time and space, instantly reaching from afar. The sword light carried an aura of destruction, as if the entire world was about to collapse. The terrifying sword intent exploded, annihilating all life in its path. Everyone felt like they were about to die, the sword intent directly affecting their minds and souls, incredibly frightening. The sword light swept past Lin Moyu's location, arriving ahead of time and colliding with the mechanical puppets. The sword light exploded, obliterating everything in the starry sky, leaving nothing behind. This sword reached the pinnacle of supreme power, yet its contained strength surpassed even the peak of supreme power. Hundreds of mechanical puppets crumbled in the sword light. Not a single one survived. The sword light gathered, revealing Lin Mohan within it. At this moment, the aura Lin Mohan displayed had already reached the level of a high supreme. With her high supreme level, she could unleash an attack capable of killing a peak supreme, which was truly astonishing. Lin Moyu had suddenly stopped because he sensed Lin Mohan's arrival. With his big sister here, there was no need for him to act.
Big sister, you're mighty.
Lin Moyu smiled and flattered. In his senses, Lin Mohan was stronger than before. Moreover, the sword she just used was clearly not her strongest one. Lin Mohan still carried a strong aura of the Boundary Sea, indicating she had just come from there. Lin Mohan's gaze was like a sword, sweeping over the distant warship. She swung the heaven and earth sword in her hand, and a sword light instantly crossed time and space, suddenly exploding on the warship. The warship emitted a strong light before being cut in half by the sword light, exploding violently in the starry sky. Lin Mohan was completely unreasonable, not uttering a single unnecessary word. Her sword did all the talking. The next moment, Lin Mohan looked towards the Do Emperor's palace. The Do Emperors were terrified. One Lin Moyu was already too much, and now there was an even more terrifying one. Lin Mohan swung her sword again, and the sword light shone within the Do Emperor's palace. Boom! The palace trembled violently, stone pillars exploding one by one. The strong defenses of the palace were so weak against Lin Mohan, unable to withstand even a single sword. The Do Emperors roared.
Run!
They had no intention of fighting. Escaping was their priority. The skeleton kings simultaneously raised their bone swords, each one targeting any 10 people, regardless of who they were. There would be overlaps anyway.
Technique, bonne god slash.
The sword light shone, the armor on the Do Emperors also shone, and then shattered. 28 Do Emperors, regardless of which ones, were the result of forced growth. In the sword light, more than 10 Do Emperors died on the spot. The remaining 18 were severely injured. They fled in terror at the fastest speed. Lin Moyu lightly shook the heaven and earth sword in her hand, and in an instant, heaven and earth reversed. The world turned upside down. As if time flowed backward, the rules of heaven and earth changed in a moment. The Do Emperors, who were clearly fleeing, suddenly turned back the way they came. They were all terrified but couldn't control their bodies, wanting to leave but coming back. Lin Moyu lightly shook the heaven and earth sword again.
Freeze!
Heaven and earth were locked. Everything was frozen. These Do Emperors struggled desperately but couldn't move. Then countless sword lights shot from the heaven and earth sword, piercing their foreheads. 18 Do Emperors fell silent, their souls destroyed, dying on the spot. Lin Moyu looked at Lin Moyu.
Little brother, these are yours now.
She had killed the Do Emperors and left their bodies for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
Thank you, big sister.
Lin Moyu laughed.
I didn't come too late, did I?
Lin Moyu replied.
You came just in time. If it weren't for you, I would have been in trouble.
Lin Moyu sneered, not believing Lin Moyu's words. She knew her brother's strength very well. Just looking at these skeleton kings, he must have had a backup plan. Mu Nanner looked at Lin Moyu and Lin Moyu, muttering to herself,
Two freaks.
Lin Moyu, at the high supreme level, could kill a peak supreme in seconds, and Lin Moyu, still half a step supreme, could suppress the entire Do realm alone. Comparatively, it seemed Lin Moyu was even stronger. Lin Moyu looked at Mu Nanner. Her eyes suddenly brightened. Mu Nanner felt a chill. Being stared at made her extremely uncomfortable, as if a sword was at her throat. Lin Moyu also felt a chill. Lin Mohan's gaze was very dangerous. Could it be? Lin Moyu looked for a while and sighed.
What a pity.
Mu Nanner asked curiously.
What's a pity?
Lin Moyu replied.
It's a pity you're already dead. Otherwise you could marry my brother. Your figure looks very fertile.
Mu Nanner's eyelids twitched, feeling a sense of anger. Lin Moyu transmitted to her.
Don't mind, my sister is just joking.
Mu Nanner responded.
I know.
She thought to herself.
I must endure.
Facing Lin Mohan's strong presence, whether it was a joke or not, she had to endure. That sword of hers was not something to be trifled with. Mu Nanner had recognized the sword in Lin Mohan's hand as the Heaven and Earth Sword, once a treasure of the Heaven and Earth Sword sect, one of the Divine Sword Supreme's paired swords. Although it wasn't a supreme treasure, its power was still astonishing, and she didn't want to be struck by it. Lin Moyu suddenly asked Lin Moyu.
It's been over 1,000 years. Have you become a father yet?
Before Lin Moyu could answer, Lin Moyu continued.
I don't feel the continuation of our bloodline. What's going on with you, not having a child in over 1,000 years?
Faced with Lin Mohan's sudden questioning, Lin Moyu felt helpless.
Sis, now isn't the time to talk about this, right?
Lin Moyu dismissed it.
What's more important than continuing the bloodline? What have you been doing for the past 1,000 years?
Lin Moyu felt helpless. He wasn't not trying, working almost every day like an old ox. But what could he do if he couldn't conceive? Suddenly, both he and Lin Moyu turned their heads, looking deep into the starry sky. A terrifying aura descended. A large hole appeared deep in the starry sky. The boundary sea was pouring in through the hole. Along with it came a mighty being. The pressure swept through. Space stopped fluctuating, freezing in an instant. Lin Moyu murmured.
That supreme being finally couldn't hold back.
He took out the dragon scale of the heavenly dragon and activated it. 2354 2354. Chapter 2354. I can break the rules, you cannot. A dragon's roar came from the dragon scale, and a voice only Lin Moyu could hear echoed in his soul.
He's here. I can already sense that guy. Don't worry.
The voice was somewhat urgent, and the heavenly dragon's tone was peculiar. However, Lin Moyu did not think much of it. If the heavenly dragon said he was coming, then he was indeed coming. Although the heavenly dragon had a strange temper, he was reliable in his actions. At least he kept his word. The pressure of the celestial venerable swept over, and just the pressure alone was enough to make a saint sovereign's soul collapse. Mu Nanner and the Supreme of 100 Battles looked extremely grim. Mu Nanner said,
"This is a celestial venerable."
The Supreme of 100 Battles also said in a low voice,
"Didn't they say there were no celestial venerables in the battle realm?"
Lin Moyu stared at the descending celestial venerable, not worried because the heavenly dragon would take action. Lin Mohan said softly,
"Celestial venerable, I don't know if I can beat him."
Her eyes were filled with fighting spirit, without a trace of fear. Instead, there was a sense of eagerness. Lin Moyu said,
"We don't need to take action. Someone will deal with him."
Lin Mohan was slightly stunned, then smiled.
"Little you really have countless backup plans."
Lin Moyu said,
"Just lucky, not as powerful as you, big sister."
Lin Mohan laughed charmingly. Hearing Lin Moyu's words, she relaxed and didn't take the impending celestial venerable seriously at all. This showed the extent of her trust in Lin Moyu. Munane asket.
What backup plan do you have to deal with a celestial venerable?
In ancient times, there were powerful celestial venerables in the great world. Even if one or two celestial venerables came from the battle realm, it wouldn't be a problem. But now, where are the celestial venerables? She knew very well that only a celestial venerable could deal with another celestial venerable. Even a group of peak supremes wouldn't be enough. It's not just a matter of power difference, but a fundamental difference in level. If a celestial venerable didn't want to tangle, no number of peak supremes could kill him. They could fight if they wanted, leave if they wanted. There was no playing around. Lin Moyu had never seen a living celestial venerable before, and he wanted to see what was so special about them. This celestial venerable from the battle realm wore a purple robe, exuding a noble aura. From his appearance, he seemed to be human. At least Lin Moyu couldn't see any difference between him and humans. Lin Moyu said softly,
"Is the celestial venerable human?"
Lin Mohan nodded.
"It seems so. At least I can't see any difference."
Lin Moyu pondered. If this celestial venerable was human, it meant there were also humans in the realm sea. The celestial venerable descended, waved his hand, and the holes in the starry sky rapidly shrank, disappearing in the blink of an eye. The aura of the realm sea also disappeared with his wave, not just the realm sea. With another wave, the starry sky became clear, all impurities disappeared. After doing all this, he lightly patted his robe, as if to remove the last bit of dust. A light breeze blew on his robe, a glimmer flashed, and it became incomparably clear. Lin Moyu watched this scene and couldn't help but laugh.
"He seems to have a cleanliness obsession."
Lin Mohan nodded.
"Not just an obsession, but a severe one."
Facing the celestial venerable, the siblings showed no signs of tension. The celestial venerable took a step, crossing billions of miles, arriving effortlessly. He glanced at the broken Battle Emperor Palace, lightly pointed his finger, and the Battle Emperor Palace turned to dust in an instant, with a mass of origin power being taken back by him. His tone was full of arrogance. He was a celestial venerable, high above, looking down on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu laughed.
"The guys you trained are not very good."
Confronting him head-on, Lin Moyu was full of sarcasm, not giving the celestial venerable any face. Unexpectedly, the celestial venerable did not get angry but smiled.
"Indeed, they are a bunch of trash. I want to give you a chance to live, become my subordinate, and I will allow you to survive."
Lin Moyu smiled.
"Sounds tempting. May I know your name?"
The celestial venerable said,
"I am the Purple Robe Celestial Venerable."
Wearing a purple robe and called the Purple Robe Celestial Venerable, he truly lived up to his name. Lin Moyu said,
"Purple Robe Celestial Venerable, since you trained a bunch of trash, as their trainer, you are probably not much better than trash." You are a celestial venerable, at most a more powerful piece of trash. Bold.
The purple-robed celestial venerable's face changed drastically, roaring in anger, his entire face turning purple. A powerful pressure came crashing down. Lin Moyu lightly shouted, and the heaven and earth sword flew out, landing in front of her, emitting a fierce sword cry, blocking the celestial venerable's pressure. The purple-robed celestial venerable showed a look of surprise.
A treasure close to the celestial venerable level, and it even has a spirit, truly a rare treasure. Although this world is broken, it still has some good things left. It seems I need to search carefully.
Lin Moyu suddenly sneered.
Search? You can't even protect yourself. Better take care of yourself first. Heavenly Dragon, bite him!
As soon as the words fell, the starry sky shattered. A huge hole appeared, directly connecting to the realm's sea. Dragon roars echoed, and the heavenly dragon rushed out of the hole, heading straight for the purple-robe celestial venerable. The heavenly dragon did not fly from the starry sky but directly from the realm's sea. The purple-robe celestial venerable's face changed drastically.
Dragon Clan! Correct.
The heavenly dragon roared, spewing a dragon breath. The purple-robed celestial venerable seemed to know the power of the dragon breath, not daring to confront it, quickly retreating, shouting,
The Dragon Clan cannot interfere in the world's disputes. You are breaking the rules.
The heavenly dragon chased madly.
You talk about rules? We are on par, and besides, I want to break the rules. What can you do?
The purple-robed celestial venerable roared.
Aren't you afraid of the Dragon Clan's punishment?
The heavenly dragon laughed loudly.
They are right behind me.
Sure enough, behind the heavenly dragon, 3 more dragons were chasing him. 3 dragons, 1 at the celestial venerable level, 2 at the supreme level. The celestial venerable level dragon roared angrily.
Heavenly Dragon, stop immediately. The clan rules forbid interfering in the world's disputes. I order you to stop immediately.
The heavenly dragon ignored him, instead saying to Lin Moyu,
Kid, help me hold off these guys, so they don't get in the way.
Lin Moyu then understood that the heavenly dragon must have been disturbed by them earlier, which is why he spoke urgently and arrived a bit late. Hearing the heavenly dragon's words, Lin Moyu didn't hesitate. The Skeleton King immediately launched an attack on the 3 dragons. At this moment, he didn't care about the rules, nor would he hesitate. The heavenly dragon came here to help him. How could he be timid? However, he was also measured, not going for the kill. Perhaps in the future, he would join Antares in attacking the Dragon Clan, but not now. Sword light flashed, weaving layers of sword curtains, blocking the 3 dragons. Without the pursuers, the heavenly dragon acted more recklessly, laughing wildly.
Don't worry, they won't fight you. They don't dare to break the rules. You just fight. As long as you don't kill them, do whatever you want.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Aren't they just living targets?
The heavenly dragon laughed loudly.
Yes, these guys are like that. Just hit them. The Dragon Clan is tough. Don't hold back.
The more the heavenly dragon roared, the more excited he became, and his attacks grew heavier. He wasn't here to play, he was here to kill. The heavenly dragon roared madly.
You are dead today. You broke the rules. I will eat you today. Eat your rule world. Refine you. I can break the rules. You cannot. Don't think about escaping. You can't escape.
The purple-robed celestial venerable's face grew uglier and uglier. Although he was also a celestial venerable, his combat power was hard to match that of a Dragon Clan celestial venerable. Among the same level, the Dragon Clan's combat power was famously strong. He regretted coming here, but it was too late. He had to think about how to escape. The heavenly dragon suddenly spat out a branch, which turned into a big tree, covering the starry sky. The dragon god's branch sealed the starry sky, trapping the purple-robed celestial venerable within, with no escape. 2355 2355. Chapter 2355. Sis, I take 2, you take 1. The Skeleton King, the Undead Legion, the Death Knight, and hundreds of millions of skeleton generals formed an impenetrable net, completely surrounding the three dragons. Lin Moyu smiled and said,
"Sorry everyone, let's just wait here for a while, without interfering with each other, okay?"
He certainly wouldn't act as recklessly as the heavenly dragon. The heavenly dragon could act recklessly, but he could not. After all, the dragon clan was incredibly powerful. If they broke the rules, he would be the one to suffer. The celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm looked coldly at Lin Moyu.
"Do you know what you are doing?"
Lin Moyu shook his head.
"I don't know anything. I also don't know what rules your dragon clan has. The heavenly dragon is my friend, and I can only help him. I really don't want to fight you, so let's just wait here, okay?"
The celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm looked at Lin Moyu, unable to think of a way to break the stalemate. The rules of the dragon clan were indeed as the heavenly dragon had said. They could not fight with the people of this world. It wasn't that they couldn't fight at all. It depended on the situation. If faced with a life and death crisis, they could naturally take action. If it was just to kill a few small characters, the impact wouldn't be significant. After all, small characters wouldn't affect the world's development. But if they killed an important figure in the world, it would be equivalent to affecting the world's development, breaking the rules, and the Dragon Clan would impose punishment. The Dragon Clan had secret methods to determine who was an important figure in the world. In the eyes of the celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm, Lin Moyu was closely connected to this world. Lin Moyu was definitely an important figure in this world and couldn't be killed. Lin Mohan, on the other hand, didn't seem as closely connected, but there was something strange about her. In the eyes of the celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm, Lin Mohan didn't seem to be from this world. But strangely, Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu were extremely closely connected, like an inseparable whole. Moreover, their appearances were very similar, leading him to conclude that they were likely siblings. This puzzled him greatly. Two siblings, one an important figure in the world, the other seemingly unrelated to the world. What kind of situation was this? He fell into deep thought, confused by this question. From the outside, he appeared motionless, as if he had listened to Lin Moyu's words and was letting the heavenly dragon break the rules without intervening. In fact, he could indeed not intervene. The one breaking the rules was the heavenly dragon, not him. If the dragon clan imposed punishment, it would be on the heavenly dragon, not him. He could completely watch from the sidelines, being a bystander dragon, especially now that he had a more appropriate reason. The celestial dragon in the heavenly venerable realm remained silent, and the two celestial dragons in the supreme realm behind him didn't move either. They were obedient dragons, following their superior's orders, speaking less and doing more. Lin Mohan transmitted,
"The way the Dragon Clan thinks is quite interesting."
Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
"Indeed, but this is good. I don't have to bother."
Lin Mohan smiled, her beautiful eyes looking towards the heavenly dragon. The dragon god's branch turned into a giant tree, enveloping the purple-robed celestial venerable within. The giant tree covered the sky, making it impossible to see inside from the outside. From the commotion, it seemed the heavenly dragon had the upper hand. The heavenly dragon's laughter was wild and unrestrained, constantly shouting with joy. The purple-robed celestial venerable roared continuously, unleashing waves of powerful spells. But he couldn't do anything to the heavenly dragon. Through the eye of the undead, Lin Moyu saw the soul fire of the purple-robed celestial venerable flickering unsteadily.
"He shouldn't be able to hold on for much longer."
Lin Mohan said softly,
"A celestial venerable. I really want to use his blood to consecrate my sword."
Lin Moyu glanced at her.
"I'll talk to the heavenly dragon about it later. It's not impossible."
Lin Mohan shook her head.
"No need. If I want the blood of a celestial venerable, I'll take it myself. I don't need anyone to give it to me."
Lin Mohan raised her head, revealing her jade-like neck, as proud as a swan. Lin Moyu flattered.
"Sis, you're mighty."
The giant tree shook, the rumbling continued, and lightning flashed through the gaps. shattering the Star River wherever it passed. The battle between celestial venerables was not something ordinary people could intervene in. Even the aftermath was hard to withstand. The Dragon God's branch, transforming into a giant tree, not only trapped the purple-robed celestial venerable, but also blocked most of the aftermath. Even so, the occasional leakage of power could still shatter the Star River, killing any supreme who touched it. Lin Moyu stared at the giant tree, seeing the soul fire of the purple robe celestial venerable trembling more and more violently, indicating his worsening condition. The soul fire of the heavenly dragon remained stable, and Lin Moyu knew that the heavenly dragon had firmly gained the upper hand.
It shouldn't take long to determine the outcome.
He knew that the purple robe celestial venerable wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. There was indeed a gap in their strength. Suddenly, the soul fire of the purple robe celestial venerable surged violently. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly.
Retreat!
He wielded the power of space-time, covering a large area of the starry sky and retreating with several people. Lin Mohan reacted quickly. The heaven and earth sword flew out, transforming into a sword domain, weaving sword light to block in front of them. A massive force burst out from the giant tree, creating a huge hole, and the purple robe celestial venerable rushed out. At this moment, the purple robe celestial venerable was disheveled. His previously spotless purple robe now tattered, with many fresh bloodstains on it. The purple robe celestial venerable looked extremely embarrassed, no longer having his previous noble appearance. After escaping, the first thing the purple robe celestial venerable did was look at Lin Moyu and the others. His eyes filled with intense killing intent, wishing to tear Lin Moyu to pieces. However, the heavenly dragon also rushed out of the hole, laughing wildly.
You're quite capable, but you still can't escape.
The purple robe celestial venerable said nothing, throwing out 3 objects. The starry sky exploded, powerful pressure sweeping across the starry sky, and 3 puppets appeared. The puppets emitted a terrifying aura, comparable to that of a celestial venerable.
Celestial venerable level puppets.
Lin Moyu was shocked, then immediately denied his own thought.
No, not celestial venerable, but stronger than peak supremes.
Although the 3 puppets had an aura close to that of a celestial venerable, Lin Moyu could see at a glance that they were not truly celestial venerable level and couldn't compare to a real celestial venerable. But it was certain that they were stronger than peak supremes. The heavenly dragon shouted,
Pseudo-celestial venerable puppets, you have quite a stockpile. But relying on these 3 pieces of trash to save your life, you're dreaming.
The heavenly dragon's words confirmed Lin Moyu's thoughts. So these were called pseudo-celestial venerable puppets. After the 3 pseudo-celestial venerable puppets appeared, they didn't fight the heavenly dragon but charged straight at Lin Moyu. The purple robe celestial venerable fled in another direction. Lin Moyu immediately understood the purple robe celestial venerable's plan. The purple robe celestial venerable wanted to use the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets to kill him, forcing the heavenly dragon to save him. As long as he could delay for a while, he would have enough time to escape. Lin Moyu immediately shouted,
You go after him, I'll handle the 3 puppets.
The heavenly dragon laughed.
That's what I was thinking.
He knew some of Lin Moyu's trump cards. The 3 puppets wouldn't be able to kill Lin Moyu easily. The heavenly dragon indeed ignored the puppets and chased after the purple robe celestial venerable. The 3 pseudo-celestial venerable puppets obeyed the purple robe celestial venerable's command and attacked instantly. Lin Moyu quickly said,
Sis, I take 2, you take 1.
Lin Mohan responded with a hum, lightly shouting, and the sword of destruction appeared behind her. Black flames blazed on the sword of destruction, with a purple line running through it. Powerful sword energy surged in the starry sky, shredding the starry sky to pieces. Mu Nanner and the Supreme of 100 Battles both groaned, feeling the pain. The naturally emitted sword energy alone made them feel terrified.
What kind of sword is this? So terrifying. This is her trump card. Such a powerful sword.
Compared to 1,000 years ago, Lin Mohan's sword of destruction was even stronger. 2356, 2356. Chapter 2356. Pseudo-celestial venerable puppets are nothing special. Lin Moyu gripped her rule world and grasped the sword of destruction. The heaven and earth sword automatically flew over and merged with the sword of destruction. In an instant, the sword energy surged, whipping up a storm of sword chi. Lin Moyu waved his hand, using the power of space-time to retreat with Mu Nanner and the Supreme of 100 Battles. No one could stand near Lin Moyu anymore. At the same time, he didn't forget to flatter her.
Big sis is mighty.
Lin Moyu transformed into a sharp sword that could destroy everything, making it impossible for people to look at her directly. The dragon looked at Lin Moyu and murmured,
She looks a bit familiar. Have I seen her somewhere before?
His eyes were filled with confusion, becoming more and more perplexed. Lin Moyu locked onto one of the puppets, transformed into a sharp sword, and attacked. Sword light enveloped that puppet, and the puppet quickly launched a counterattack. The other two puppets still charged straight at Lin Moyu. They loyally executed their master's orders, ignoring their companion's situation. The purple-robed celestial venerable's order was to kill Lin Moyu. Of course, these puppets were very advanced and also had battle instincts. While loyally executing their master's orders, they would also instinctively engage in battle. Mu Nanner said in a low voice,
They're coming.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
Don't worry, I have puppets too.
He moved his mind and threw out the blood-devouring puppet. At the same time, several soul pearls flew out, injecting soul power into the blood-devouring puppet. The blood-devouring puppet was instantly activated, turning into a 100-meter giant, standing in front of Lin Moyu. The blood-devouring puppet emitted the aura of a peak supreme. Although it wasn't as strong as the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets, the blood-devouring puppet had its own advantages. It was very difficult to kill, and as long as there was blood to replenish it, the blood-devouring puppet's recovery ability was enough to give most opponents a headache. As for blood, Lin Moyu had plenty. He had prepared more than enough. He also had countless soul pearls, enough to support the blood-devouring puppet in battle for hundreds or thousands of years. In Lin Moyu's estimation, the blood-devouring puppet could easily hold off one pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Then Lin Moyu snapped his fingers, and the space around him distorted as the divine power lich appeared. The divine power lich also emitted the aura of a peak supreme. Lin Moyu lightly flicked his finger, and 2 drops of ancestral water flew out, falling on the blood-devouring puppet and the divine power lich respectively. Both of their auras surged simultaneously. The ancestral water at least doubled their combat power, making the gap between them and the pseudo-celestial venerables even smaller. Next, a strange aura emerged from Lin Moyu's body as the power of belief burned fiercely. Over so many years, Lin Moyu didn't know how much belief power he had accumulated. He couldn't even calculate it clearly. At this moment, he was not stingy at all, burning hundreds of millions of belief power to raise the combat power of the blood-devouring puppet and the divine power lich to their limits. With the addition of belief power, their auras were no weaker than the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets. The blood-devouring puppet and the divine power lich charged out with a boom, colliding with the pseudo-celestial venerable puppets. Intense battle shockwaves rippled through space, and the entire starry sky exploded. The nearby skeleton generals and undead legion almost instantly collapsed. Lin Moyu quickly retreated with Mu Nanner and the Supreme of 100 Battles, using space-time power to avoid the shockwave impact. The blood-devouring puppet and the divine power lich displayed astonishing combat power, not falling behind at all. Mu Nanner looked at Lin Moyu with a complex gaze.
How many more trump cards do you have?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
No more.
No more trump cards? Mu Nanner didn't believe it. From the beginning until now, Lin Moyu himself hadn't even made a move yet. Although Lin Moyu appeared to be only at the half-step supreme realm, could his combat power really be only at the half-step supreme level? At least Mu Nanner didn't believe it. Lin Moyu watched the battlefield. Lin Moyu was going all out, with sword light interweaving like rain to form a terrifying sword domain. whipping up an astonishing sword chi storm. She was already suppressing the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Wherever the sword of destruction passed, the starry sky shattered. Although the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet was sturdy, it still had sword marks carved into it. Lin Mohan's side seemed to have no problems at all. Looking at his own side, the blood-devouring puppet's combat power was slightly weaker than the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet, but the blood-devouring puppet's recovery ability was too strong. Moreover, with a constant supply of resources, it had firmly entangled its opponent. For now, there were no problems at all. The divine power liched through punch after punch, each one heavy and powerful. One punch could break all techniques. No matter how sharp the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet's attacks were, the divine power lich broke them with a single punch. For now, they were evenly matched.
Pseudo-celestial venerable puppets are nothing special. It's time to end this.
Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the divine power lich's body radiated with a glow, revealing a strange link. The power Tao appeared, and the divine power lich's power instantly surged. The first punch, 10-fold increase. The second punch, 100-fold increase. The third punch, 1,000-fold increase. Without ancestral water and belief power, the third punch could already touch the threshold of a celestial venerable. Now with ancestral water and belief power, Lin Moyu couldn't estimate how strong the third punch would be. However, it was definitely enough to deal with a pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. The first punch was thrown. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet that was evenly matched with the divine power lich was immediately sent flying. Lin Moyu saw that its chest had large cracks appearing. Even the sturdy puppet material couldn't withstand the divine power lich's heavy punch. This was just the first punch. If it couldn't even withstand the first punch, there was no way it could withstand the second punch. The divine power lich instantly caught up with the puppet that had been sent flying and suddenly threw the second punch. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet knew no fear and also swung its fist to block. Boom! The puppet exploded. Its arm was instantly shattered, and the divine power lich's heavy punch landed on the puppet's body. The puppet's body was smashed to pieces, with countless materials scattering in space. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet couldn't even withstand the second punch before being destroyed. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and the skeletons immediately flew over to collect the scattered materials. These materials were good stuff. They couldn't be wasted. The divine power lich, cloaked in the power Tao, charged towards another pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Mu Nanner was already dumbfounded. The pseudo-celestial venerable puppet had been killed just like that. This was a pseudo-celestial venerable stronger than a peak supreme, yet it was killed so easily. She muttered, unable to speak, feeling that it wasn't quite normal, but it also seemed very normal. Lin Moyu seemed to have known it would be like this all along. That celestial venerable dragon, still surrounded and pondering questions, widened his dragon eyes again. He could hardly believe it.
Tao laws. How can people in this world possess Tao laws?
He looked at the divine power lich, then at Lin Moyu, murmuring,
Who exactly is he?
Lin Moyu sensed the dragon's gaze but paid no attention to it. He knew the dragon had recognized the Tao laws on the divine power lich and was surprised. It was normal. The heavenly dragon had been surprised before and later explained to him what Tao laws were. From the heavenly dragon's perspective, the laws in the great world were just laws belonging to the great world. Once they left the great world, the power of these laws would be greatly weakened or even lose effect. Lin Moyu had encountered this problem when he first entered the Realm Sea. His combat power was weakened, and the undying undead lost effectiveness. But Tao laws were different. They came from a higher level. They were not only effective in the great world but also worked in the Realm Sea. The Realm Sea worlds had their own laws. Although the laws of the Realm Sea worlds also came from Tao laws, they had evolved into completely different versions. Under the interference of the Realm Sea world laws, it was unlikely for people in the Realm Sea worlds to comprehend Tao laws. At least the heavenly dragon had never seen it, and probably this dragon hadn't either. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so surprised. The divine power Lich charged in front of another pseudo-celestial venerable puppet, and threw the third punch. A strange phenomenon occurred, and a giant appeared in the starry sky. 2357 2357. Chapter 2357. I guarantee you won't die. The moment the giant appeared, the star river became fragmented, and the entire great world roared as if it couldn't bear the giant's power. The giant, like the divine power Lich, was clad in the laws of the great Tao, expressionless. It slowly raised its hand and gradually brought down a punch. At that moment, the entire starry sky fell silent, and all the laws and rules were extinguished. It seemed as if nothing could survive under this punch. The powerful and invisible force locked onto the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet. Without even looking, Lin Moyu knew the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet was doomed. Lin Moyu was also a bit surprised by the appearance of this giant. The celestial venerable dragon's eyes widened even more than before, and he murmured. This time, he only murmured in his heart, and no one else could hear it. However, his expression couldn't hide from others. From his expression, Lin Moyu could deduce that this suddenly appearing giant was not simple. With a punch, the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet had no resistance. Before the fist even landed, its body had already begun to shatter. By the time the fist truly landed, the puppet had completely exploded, dead beyond any possibility of revival. After 3 punches, the power Tao fell into cooldown, and the divine power Lich returned to its normal state. At this time, the starry sky trembled again, and a giant sword appeared. The giant sword was infinitely large, even larger than the previous giant, spanning more than billions of miles. The shape of this sword was the same as the sword of destruction, covered in black flames. Strangely, whether viewed from near or far, it was difficult to see the full appearance of this sword. This sword seemed to be truly infinite, occupying the entire field of vision. The moment the giant sword appeared, the starry sky was cut open, and the realm sea directly appeared on the other side. The terrifying sword chi tore open the world's barrier while blocking the realm sea, preventing a single drop of realm sea water from flowing in. The celestial venerable dragon, who had not yet recovered from the giant's appearance, was once again shocked by the giant's sword, trembling all over, and his dragon scales clattered.
Another true body of the great Tao. Is this the sword Tao? Which sword Tao is this? I've never seen it before.
He was in turmoil, feeling that today he had truly opened his eyes and witnessed a bunch of monsters. This mid-level supreme woman actually possessed the true body of the great Tao, which was too terrifying.
One sword cut the sea.
Lin Mohan shouted, and the giant sword slashed down, causing the world's barrier outside the realm sea to collapse. The realm sea was cut off by the giant sword, revealing a large vacuum. Under the sweep of the sword chi, the pseudo-celestial venerable puppet turned into powder, not even leaving a trace of debris. Lin Moyu immediately felt heartache.
Sis, be gentle.
Lin Mohan replied,
I can't be gentle. I still can't control this sword.
Well, that was an irrefutable reason. The giant sword disappeared, and Lin Mohan's aura plummeted, barely maintaining the supreme realm. After all, she was only a mid-level supreme, and this sword had already used all her strength. Moreover, Lin Moyu felt that this sword had not been fully unleashed, only half of it. If it had been fully unleashed, the power might have been even greater, possibly shattering the great world. The inheritance that Lin Mohan awakened was indeed very outrageous, and its origin was unknown. The 3 pseudo-celestial venerables were smoothly dealt with, and Lin Moyu retracted the puppets and the divine power Lich, now just waiting for the heavenly dragon to return. He had been chasing the purple-robed celestial venerable, and Lin Moyu didn't know where he had gone, but he wasn't worried about his safety. At this moment, the celestial venerable dragon spoke.
Little guy, you can retract these puppets now. He has already gone far, and I won't stop him anymore. Even if he broke the rules, it won't be me who punishes him.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and with a thought, he retracted all the skeletons. He bowed slightly to the dragon.
May I know the senior's esteemed name?
The dragon said.
You can call me Zhu Tianyin.
The dragon revealed his name, and although it was just a name, it had a different meaning among the dragon clan. The dragon clan generally didn't like to tell others their true names. Only when they recognized the other party would they reveal their true names. Zhu Tianyin recognized Lin Moyu's strength, so he revealed his name. The heavenly dragon's surname was also Zhu, and his full name was Zhu Tianlong, but he usually went by the name Tianlong. Lin Moyu also knew that Antares was not his real name. It was something he made up. It wasn't that he didn't want to say it, but there were some special reasons why he couldn't. Lin Moyu said to Zhu Tianyin,
Thank you, senior, for your understanding. I had no choice just now.
Zhu Tianyin said,
That kid Tianlong has a temper like that. This time he has caused trouble, and I don't know what punishment he will face.
Lin Moyu said,
I believe Tianlong has his own decisions. As a friend, I can only support him unconditionally.
Zhu Tianyin laughed.
It's rare for that kid to have a friend. It's really surprising.
Lin Moyu wanted to say something more, but suddenly looked up into the distance. In the starry sky, a stream of light crossed the space and came. The heavenly dragon was back, but his aura was somewhat off. Lin Moyu frowned.
Tianlong is injured.
Zhu Tianyin also noticed.
The injury is not light. A celestial venerable has arrived, and not just one.
His expression became serious, and Lin Moyu also sensed the aura of celestial venerables. There was more than one celestial venerable, at least 4, chasing the heavenly dragon all the way here. Zhu Tianyin flew out, bypassing the heavenly dragon, and spewed endless dragon breath, blocking the pursuing celestial venerables. Lin Moyu took a step forward, arriving beside the heavenly dragon.
What's going on?
The heavenly dragon spat out a corpse, the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable, and then said,
I didn't expect this guy to have backers.
The purple-robed celestial venerable was killed by the heavenly dragon, but before he died, his backers arrived. 4 of them came, all celestial venerables. One of the celestial venerables was very strong, and the heavenly dragon was no match for him, so he had no choice but to flee back. The other party chased him all the way, clearly not willing to let the heavenly dragon go. The heavenly dragon returned and handed the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable to Lin Moyu, then shouted to Zhu Tianyin,
Help me block them. I'll leave first.
He still wanted to escape, using Zhu Tianyin's interception to get away. He said to Lin Moyu,
Don't worry, they don't dare to attack this world. Otherwise, the dragon clan won't let them go.
Lin Moyu laughed.
They dare to kill even you.
Meaning that if they dared to kill a celestial venerable dragon, they wouldn't care about the dragon clan's retaliation. The heavenly dragon explained,
It's different. The specific rules are very complicated. You'll understand in the future. I'll leave first. See you later if fate allows.
Lin Moyu stopped him.
No rush, let's see first.
The heavenly dragon frowned.
I'm afraid if we keep watching, we won't be able to leave.
Lin Moyu said,
I guarantee you won't die, trust me.
With the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable in hand, Lin Moyu was not afraid of the other celestial venerables. If a fight really broke out, the explosion of the corpse would teach them a lesson. In the Realm C, the power of a corpse explosion was uncertain, but here in the Great World, a corpse explosion would definitely hit them hard. The heavenly dragon's eyes turned, and he chose to believe Lin Moyu. Zhu Tianyin blocked the 4 celestial venerables, his voice cold.
Which sect are you from? How dare you chase and kill a dragon of our clan?
His aura was vast and imposing, not putting the 4 celestial venerables in his eyes. The leader of the 4 celestial venerables said in a deep voice,
You don't need to know which sect we are from. According to the rules, your dragon clan cannot intervene in the world's disputes. He broke the rules and killed our people, so he is no longer protected by your dragon clan's rules.
A rule sounding a bit complex, but Lin Moyu basically understood it from a few words. 2358 2358. Chapter 2358. Antares Attack. The Dragon Clan is very strong, and they have their own rules. They remain neutral in all worlds, and their existence does not affect the overall situation of any world. The Dragon Clan does not interfere with the operation of various worlds, nor do they involve themselves in world conflicts. This is the rule of the Dragon Clan, but the Heavenly Dragon broke this rule. Not only did he interfere, but he also killed a celestial venerable. As a result, he is no longer protected by the Dragon Clan, and the other party can hunt him down. However, Zhu Tianyin did not break the rules, so for now, these people still have to give Zhu Tianyin face. Lin Moyu whispered,
Do you know who they are? Judging by their attire, they should be from the same force.
The Heavenly Dragon shook his head.
Who knows? There are so many forces under the sky. It could be a family or a sect. I had thought of this before, but I didn't expect them to be nearby.
Lin Moyu said,
Are you sure you can escape?
The Heavenly Dragon nodded.
Of course, I'm not made of mud. The world is so big, if I really want to escape, how could they find me with just a few celestial venerables?
Lin Moyu looked at the situation.
What do you think Senior Zhu Tianyin will do?
The Heavenly Dragon said,
This guy is the most rule-abiding. I guess 9 times out of 10, he won't interfere.
At this moment, Zhu Tianyin said,
This time we indeed broke the rules, but...
His aura suddenly surged.
So what if we broke the rules? What do you plan to do about it?
The sudden change caught the Heavenly Dragon off guard. The Heavenly Dragon stared.
Is this guy crazy?
Zhu Tianyin, who had always been the most rule-abiding, suddenly disregarded the rules. This contrast made the Heavenly Dragon somewhat unable to accept it. Zhu Tianyin's behavior was completely opposite to what he remembered. Zhu Tianyin's sudden assertiveness made the 4 celestial venerables' faces change.
Although your Dragon Clan is powerful, these rules are not for you to break. Breaking the rules, you know the consequences.
Before he could finish speaking, the world's barrier suddenly cracked. The realm sea churned, and dragon roars echoed. A terrifying pressure came from outside the world, transforming into a divine dragon, charging towards the 4 celestial venerables.
Antares, he's out.
Lin Moyu was overjoyed. This divine dragon was Antares, he couldn't be mistaken. However, it was not Antares' true body, but an incarnation of his will. The will transformed into a divine dragon, pouncing on the 4 celestial venerables. The Heavenly Dragon also let out a low roar, his entire body trembling with excitement, dragon roars echoing from his mouth. Seeing this scene, Zhu Tianyin was stunned, opening his mouth but unable to say anything. The 2 supreme-level divine dragons beside him were even more terrified, as if they had seen something horrifying. The divine dragon transformed by Antares' will was incredibly terrifying, far surpassing the celestial venerables. The 4 celestial venerables' faces changed dramatically.
Not good, run!
They wanted to escape, but suddenly all 4 of them trembled, standing still like wooden chickens.
Soul attack!
Lin Moyu saw that Antares had launched a soul attack, rendering the 4 immobile. The divine dragon then passed through them, and the 4's auras rapidly declined, losing all vitality in an instant. The 4 celestial venerables died just like that, their souls annihilated. The divine dragon turned its head to look at Lin Moyu, then returned the way it came, disappearing. Lin Moyu's eyes were filled with contemplation. He transmitted to the Heavenly Dragon.
Is Antares not out yet?
The Heavenly Dragon thought for a moment, then slowly nodded.
He should be close, but he has been watching this world and can already attack across worlds. Clearly, he is about to come out.
Attacking across infinite distances and worlds, instantly killing celestial venerables. Antares' strength far exceeded Lin Moyu's imagination. Antares was not just a celestial venerable, at least a Tao venerable. Only a Tao venerable could be so terrifying. Thinking of what Antares had said before, wanting him to accompany him to attack the Dragon Clan. With his current strength, he was too weak. Any random celestial venerable dragon could kill him, let alone talk about attacking the dragon clan.
I'm still too weak.
Lin Moyu sighed softly. The heavenly dragon said,
You think you're weak? You're already strong enough. Haven't you been cultivating for just a few years? You're at a monstrous level. A monster saying he's weak. I don't know what you're thinking. Do you want others to live?
Lin Moyu smiled.
I'll take that as a compliment, thank you.
The heavenly dragon snorted.
I'm just telling the truth, don't flatter yourself.
At this moment, Zhu Tianyin flew over, looking at the heavenly dragon, and asked bluntly,
What do you plan to do?
The heavenly dragon snorted.
Mind your own business. If those guys want to find me, let them come, as long as they can find me. When you go back, tell those old guys in the clan that the crown prince is coming back soon. Tell them to wash their necks and wait. Not just them, but their descendants too, every single one of them. Be prepared. If they want to escape, they better do it quickly, don't regret it when it's too late.
Zhu Tianyin's expression became serious.
Are you sure the crown prince will do this?
The heavenly dragon laughed cruelly.
Think about it, has the crown prince ever broken his word? I advise you don't choose the wrong side.
Zhu Tianyin seemed to be recalling the past, his expression becoming more serious. The heavenly dragon laughed even more happily.
You can leave now, don't come looking for me again, I'm leaving soon too.
Zhu Tianyin sighed.
Take care then.
He left the great world with the two supreme-level divine dragons. After they left, the heavenly dragon said,
I have to go too, we will meet again.
Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
Take care.
At this moment, the heavenly dragon suddenly transmitted.
Remember, don't let anyone know about the 10-colored dragon soul crystal. If you meet the crown prince in the future, you can tell him, maybe he can help you hide it.
After saying this, he let out a dragon roar and also left, breaking through the world's barrier. The starry sky suddenly became incredibly quiet. The crisis of the battle realm had been resolved, even the people behind it were dead. Lin Moyu now had 5 celestial venerable corpses, which were his trump cards. Even when facing celestial venerables, he now had confidence. Looking at the silent starry sky, Lin Moyu's eyes showed a hint of killing intent.
Time to kill!
Munaner asked curiously.
Are you planning to counterattack now?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
There's still a sneaky guy not dealt with. Didn't you notice, the 4 origin divine beasts and the supreme of 100 battles are all gone?
Munaner had been focused on the battle and hadn't noticed anything unusual. Now that Lin Moyu mentioned it, she realized that the 4 origin divine beasts and the supreme of 100 battles had all disappeared. She immediately asked,
Where did they go?
Lin Moyu said,
They went back to the domain. There's a pest attacking the human race. Now that the Battle Realm's problem is solved, it's time to deal with them.
Shortly after the war with the Battle Realm began, the Origin Divine Beasts received information from the Great World that someone was attacking the human race. Lin Moyu didn't need to think to know that the Buddhist clan had come. Over the years, the Buddhist clan had been hiding somewhere, and they hadn't been able to find them. Lin Moyu had to admire the Buddhist clan's hiding skills. However, he also knew that once the Battle Realm and the Great World started fighting, the Buddhist clan would definitely jump out. They had always been eyeing the Great World's origin. They wouldn't give up so easily. But the Buddhist clan probably didn't expect that the human star domain had set up the 10,000 stars array. Moreover, Lin Moyu had set up a backup plan to guard against the Buddhist clan. Not afraid of the Buddhist clan coming, just afraid they wouldn't come. If they didn't come, it would be a bit troublesome to find them. Sure enough, they came, and the 4 origin divine beasts immediately received the news. Lin Moyu let them go back first. He would handle the Battle Realm, no need to worry. 2359, 2359. Chapter 2359. The Great Shami Realm, Golden Lotus Buddha. In the human star domain, the 10,000 stars formation erupted simultaneously. When the Red Star Supreme set up the 10,000 stars formation, the human formation masters followed behind. Although they couldn't set up such a powerful formation like the Red Star Supreme, they could make some minor adjustments to it. Formation techniques were something the human race excelled at. The formation masters pooled their wisdom and used a special method to link 10,000 stars formations together. The final result was that no matter where the battle erupted, the 10,000 stars formations could participate. In this way, the defensive power greatly increased, making the entire human star domain as solid as an iron barrel. Less than 10 minutes after Lin Moyu started the battle with the Battle Realm, the Buddhist clan arrived. A golden Buddha statue appeared, spreading golden lotuses everywhere. The lotuses transformed into Buddhist warriors, aggressively attacking the human race.
The Great Shami Realm, the Golden Lotus Buddha of the Golden Light Great Sun has decreed that this realm is fated to be with this Buddha and should belong to this Buddha. Anyone who obstructs will be considered a demon and should be exterminated. Buddhist soldiers, raise your blades and perform the task of exorcism. Amitabha.
With the chanting of Buddhist mantras, countless Buddhist soldiers transformed from golden lotuses charged towards the human star domain. These Buddhist soldiers all had the combat power of a half-step supreme. Without the 10,000 stars formation, the human race wouldn't be able to withstand them. The Red Star Supreme was integrated with the 10,000 stars formation. Wherever the formation was, he was there. With him presiding over the 10,000 stars formation, it could exert its maximum combat power. The 10,000 stars formation evolved into 10 giants, each with the combat power equivalent to a mid-level supreme. No matter how many Buddhist soldiers came, it was futile. The Star Elder, the Human Emperor, and all the human Saint Supremes appeared simultaneously. The Star Elder said in a low voice,
Lin Moyu was right. The Buddhist clan indeed appeared at this moment.
The Human Emperor said,
That's why Lin Moyu had the Red Star Supreme stay here. With him and the 10,000 stars formation, there should be no worries. We just need to hold on until Lin Moyu returns.
The Star Elder looked at the Buddha statue, his eyes cold.
It seems he's in a hurry.
The Human Emperor laughed.
Of course, if he can't obtain the origin before Lin Moyu returns, he won't have a chance. Whether the Battle Realm or Lin Moyu wins, it's not good for him.
The Buddhist clan arrived without any prelude and started the battle directly, indeed in a hurry. Once Lin Moyu and the Battle Realm decided the outcome, the Buddhist clan would have no chance. Just as Lin Moyu thought, they were only fit for sneaky actions. The Buddha looked at the 10 giants, and his Buddhist soldiers transformed from golden lotuses couldn't break through for a long time. The golden light flickered, and he seemed a bit anxious. He formed a lotus shape with his fingers and shot out a golden light. The golden light transformed into a giant golden lotus, enveloping the Buddha statue and charging towards the 10,000 stars formation. The next moment, a massive pressure swept across the starry sky. All the human Saint Supremes, including the Star Elder and the Human Emperor, felt suppressed. The Red Star Supreme condensed into the image of an old man and said in a low voice,
This pressure is close to that of a celestial venerable.
Upon hearing this, the Star Elder and the Human Emperor's expressions changed simultaneously. They didn't expect the Golden Lotus Buddha to be so powerful, nearly reaching the level of a celestial venerable. A golden lotus as large as a star, carrying the Buddha statue, charged forward. The giants collided with the golden lotus Buddha statue. In an instant, the star river shattered, and the 10,000 stars formation trembled simultaneously. In the collision, the giant in contact with the golden lotus Buddha statue shattered on the spot. Along with it, the 10,000 stars formation it was part of, and 10,000 stars exploded simultaneously. The terrifying aftermath swept across the starry sky, and the Human Emperor and the Star Elder's faces changed dramatically.
Be careful.
The Human Emperor manipulated all his power to form layers of defense, blocking the aftermath. The Star Elder used secret techniques for defense, but their defenses were extremely fragile and collapsed at the first touch. If even they couldn't withstand it, the Human Saint Supreme stood no chance. Facing the aftermath of the collision, the Saint Supremes realized how fragile they were. The Red Star Supreme manipulated the 10,000 Stars formation, and the giants rushed over, shielding the Saint Supremes behind them, saving them from disaster. The Golden Lotus Buddha statue, with an incredibly powerful stance, shattered a 10,000 Stars formation and charged into the human star domain, heading straight for the core. Space twisted, and the Buddha statue's speed was astonishing, far exceeding the speed of light, crossing infinite distances in an instant. No one expected the Buddha statue to be so aggressive, directly breaking through the 10,000 Stars formation. This change exceeded everyone's expectations. The human emperor said in a low voice,
"What should we do?"
The Star Elder said,
"We will go. The Saint Supremes don't need to go. Stay here and maintain the formation to resist the Buddhist soldiers."
They knew that the Saint Supremes going would be useless. Not to mention the Saint Supremes, even if the two of them went, it wouldn't be of much use. About 1,000 light years away from the human divine city, a peculiar faint light was flickering. When the collision and fusion of the two worlds began, this faint light appeared here. This was the exact center of the great world, without the slightest deviation. This faint light was also the origin of the great world. Normally, the origin wouldn't be exposed, but now that the two worlds were colliding, the origin naturally manifested and became the core of the struggle. Not only the great world, but the origin of the battle realm had also manifested. Until the two sides decided the outcome, the origin would remain exposed. The origin was very strong and couldn't be easily shaken. Even a peak supreme couldn't do anything to the great world's origin. The origin's defense came from the entire world, from the beings within the world, and from everything. To obtain the great world's origin, one must first harm the great world, slaughter the beings within it, and reduce the origin's defense before finally acquiring it. Back then, the Black Blood Great Realm did the same, slaughtering a large number of humans, destroying countless star domains, and eventually launching the Black Blood Frenzy, leading to mutual destruction with the Great World. Golden light shone from afar, piercing through the infinite starry sky, crossing the divine city, and rapidly approaching the Great World's origin. The Golden Lotus Buddha saw the Great World's origin from afar and chanted,
"Amitabha, the origin of this world is indeed damaged."
A voice suddenly sounded,
"If the Great World's origin wasn't damaged, you wouldn't have a chance."
In the dim starry sky, a red light shone, and a star went from dim to bright, suddenly appearing and blocking the Golden Lotus Buddha's path. The Red Star Supreme's true body was hidden here, seemingly waiting for the Golden Lotus Buddha to arrive. The Red Star Supreme looked at him.
"You didn't come with your true body, just a soul. Who gave you the courage to think you could take the great world's origin with just a soul?"
The Golden Lotus Buddha clasped his hands together.
"Benefactor, you cannot stop this Buddha. It would be better to step aside. If you are willing to take refuge in my Buddha, I can guide you to the great Shami realm and make you a great son under my Buddha."
The Red Star Supreme sneered.
"Don't you find your words annoying? I don't know what the great Shami realm is, but I know I'm the supreme of the great world. If you want the great world's origin, you'll have to kill me first."
The Red Star Supreme erupted with a terrifying aura, unleashing all his supreme power, and the infinite starry sky was engulfed in red flames. The flames wove into a net, completely blocking the Golden Lotus Buddha's path. The Red Star Supreme's aura had reached the high-level Supreme. In the Blood Spring Secret Realm, both the Red Star Supreme and the 100 Battle Supreme had gained many benefits. In ancient times, the Red Star Supreme was only a low-level Supreme. After 2 million years, he recovered from his injuries and cultivated to the mid-level Supreme. Now he had finally become a high-level Supreme. For a special Supreme like him, cultivation and growth were extremely difficult. Although his lifespan was incredibly long, breaking through to the celestial venerable realm was almost impossible without a heaven-defying opportunity. The Red Star Supreme had promised Lin Moyu to guard the great world's origin, and he would defend it to the end. 2360. Chapter 2360. You're in trouble, bald donkey. The Golden Lotus Buddha once again chanted a Buddhist mantra.
"Benefactor, this Buddha gives you one last chance. Step aside, or be eternally condemned to Avicii hell. You should know that you alone cannot stop this Buddha.
The Red Star Supreme sneered.
Of course, I can't stop you, and the one who will stop you is not me.
In the eyes of the Red Star Supreme, the Golden Lotus Buddha possessed power infinitely close to that of a celestial venerable, and he certainly couldn't stop him. However, Lin Moyu had long made arrangements, and the one who would actually stop him was not himself. The Golden Lotus Buddha did not understand the Red Star Supreme's words. He did not see anyone else here. At this moment, a small ox flew out from behind the Red Star Supreme. Xiao Wu sat on the ox, shouting,
Bald donkey, you're in trouble.
Hearing the words,
Bald donkey.
The Golden Lotus Buddha's aura surged, and his anger flared.
Little girl, you seek death.
In their great Shami realm, the term,
Bald donkey,
was extremely insulting, especially when prefixed with
stinky.
Even he couldn't help but burn with rage. Lin Moyu hadn't expected that a phrase he taught Xiao Wu from his previous life would be the greatest insult to the Buddhist clan. Xiao Wu didn't care about any of this. She pointed lightly at the Golden Lotus Buddha, and a world of rules appeared. Xiao Wu's world of rules was incredibly peculiar, with mist swirling around, and it seemed that anything could appear, a dazzling array of chaos. Xiao Wu's thoughts were erratic, and each thought would form an object in the world of rules, only to shatter and disappear. This was the power of the void. The Golden Lotus Buddha, who had been burning with anger, suddenly changed his expression upon seeing Xiao Wu's world of rules. A world of rules with the power of the void, comprehended by a saint sovereign, and used to construct a world of rules. In his great Shami realm, he had never heard of such a thing.
How is this possible?
The Golden Lotus Buddha's heart trembled, and he realized something was wrong. He didn't know which type of void power Xiao Wu had mastered, but he knew that any kind of void power was incredibly terrifying. The power of the void was fundamentally indefensible. As Xiao Wu pointed, the world of rules shattered into nothingness. Immediately, Xiao Wu's face turned extremely pale, and her aura plummeted. The Golden Lotus Buddha was momentarily stunned, not feeling any attack descending.
No effect? Could it be due to the realm difference? This little girl is only a half-step supreme. Even with the power of the void, she can't harm me. That must be it.
He had never dealt with the power of the void from a half-step supreme, so he could only guess. Xiao Wu's face was pale, her aura weak, but her eyes were smiling.
You're in trouble. Xiao Wu said it, you're in big trouble.
The next second, the Golden Lotus Buddha's face suddenly changed. He felt his soul seemingly wanting to leave the Golden Lotus, with an impulse to return to the great Shami realm. This time, he had spent nearly 2,000 years sending a treasure from the great Shami realm to this place. This treasure was the Golden Lotus beneath him, a celestial venerable level treasure. Along with the treasure came his soul. Relying on this treasure, he could exert combat power close to that of a celestial venerable in the great world. He knew that there were no celestial venerables left in the great world, so he thought he could act recklessly and be invincible. Obtaining the world's origin was not supposed to be difficult, but now, for some reason, his soul seemed to want to return uncontrollably. The Golden Lotus Buddha roared, forming a seal with his fingers, and the Golden Lotus shone brightly, forcibly keeping his soul in place. However, the turmoil of his soul's return did not cease, affecting part of his combat power. He glared at Xiao Wu and shouted angrily,
What did you do?
Xiao Wu sneered.
I told you, you're in trouble. Anyone who opposes my master is in big trouble.
The Golden Lotus Buddha's killing intent surged.
This Buddha will cast your soul into the boundless Avicii hell, never to be reborn.
A golden light shot out, transforming into an arrow aimed at Xiao Wu. The Red Star Supreme erupted with flames, blocking the attack for Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu didn't care and patted the ox's head.
Nyo, it's up to you.
The ox mooed.
Don't worry.
A complex ancient talisman flew out of the ox's mouth, and as it unfolded, powerful auras emerged from it. The starry sky shook continuously, and each aura was that of a peak supreme. The golden lotus Buddha was stunned.
Stingrays? How is this possible?
He couldn't believe that the ox had released stingrays. Each stingray had the power of a peak supreme, the same stingrays that the heavenly dragon had hunted. Lin Moyu had used the power of resurrection to revive these stingrays and then handed them to the ox. There weren't many stingrays, only 18, equivalent to 18 peak supremes.
Kill him!
The ox commanded, and the 18 stingrays simultaneously shot towards the golden lotus Buddha, biting down. The stingray's teeth were extremely sharp, capable of injuring even a dragon like the heavenly dragon. When the heavenly dragon went to hunt stingrays, he was bitten by them. The dragon clan's defense was already extremely strong among celestial venerables, but it still couldn't withstand the stingray's teeth. Now, facing the golden lotus Buddha, he was even more defenseless. Moreover, the stingrays, after being resurrected, were even stronger than before. The golden lotus Buddha roared. The golden lotus blossomed, transforming into blades to kill the stingrays. He had killed stingrays before and knew their characteristics. Apart from their sharp teeth and incredible speed, they had no other advantages. If they were in the realm sea, he might still be wary. But now, in the starry sky, he wasn't afraid of the stingrays at all. Xiao Wu suddenly whispered,
Grandpa Red Star, let's retreat quickly.
Although puzzled, the Red Star Supreme followed Xiao Wu's advice and immediately retreated with them. Previously, Lin Moyu had instructed him to guard this place and also had Xiao Wu and the ox come here, saying it was a backup plan. Lin Moyu's real task for him was not to guard the origin but to guard Xiao Wu and the ox. Now he understood that this was Lin Moyu's backup plan. Watching the stingrays entangle the golden lotus Buddha in a fierce battle, Xiao Wu smiled softly.
He's in trouble.
The ox mooed.
He's finished.
As the Red Star Supreme was still puzzled, a stingray was killed by the golden lotus. Then, with a loud explosion, the freshly killed stingray exploded on the spot, its power sweeping across billions of miles of starry sky. Space shattered and the shockwave hit. The Red Star Supreme roared, unleashing all his power to block the impact. Flames erupted from his body, illuminating the starry sky. Xiao Wu and the ox, having anticipated this, hid behind the Red Star Supreme at the first moment. In the boiling flames, the Red Star Supreme was shocked. Fortunately, he now had the strength of a high-level Supreme, barely blocking the shockwave. If it were the ancient times, this single explosion would have been enough to kill him. The stingray exploded upon death. The explosion's power was incredibly close to that of a celestial venerable. If he was in such a state, the golden lotus Buddha at the center of the explosion must be in a worse condition. After the explosion, Xiao Wu poked her head out.
I told you, he's in trouble.
The ox said,
Wow, the explosion's power is really strong.
The starry sky continued to shatter, revealing a golden lotus that curled up to protect the Buddha statue within. It was clear that the golden lotus's light was much dimmer than before. The explosion had caused some damage to the golden lotus. The remaining 17 stingrays kept biting the golden lotus, causing it to shake and its light to dim further. 2361, 2361. Chapter 2361. Terrifying Suicide Attack. A few seconds later, the golden lotus bloomed again, radiating intense golden light, repelling the stingrays. The Buddha statue reappeared in the starry sky, and Xiao Wu suddenly shouted,
The bald donkey's Buddha statue is damaged.
At this moment, many parts of the Buddha statue were damaged. The statue was a manifestation of the Buddha's soul, and its damage indicated that the soul had been injured. Golden light continuously flowed from the lotus, entering the Buddha statue to repair the damage. The golden lotus Buddha appeared somewhat disheveled and weak.
You little brat, this Buddha will kill you.
Being insulted as a
bald donkey.
Again, the golden lotus Buddha was furious, but the stingrays surrounding him left him helpless. Xiao Wu made a face.
What's wrong with cursing you? I'll keep cursing you, bald donkey, bald donkey.
The Golden Lotus Buddha had never been so humiliated. In the Great Shami realm, he was the supreme existence. Even outside the Great Shami realm, he was respected and worshipped by countless people. He roared, and the Golden Lotus expanded, sending all the attacking stingrays flying. The Golden Lotus spun rapidly, carrying the Buddha statue towards Xiaowu. Xiaowu screamed and immediately hid behind the Red Star Supreme, acting tough but hiding after cursing. The calf mooed, and several stingrays that had been sent flying rushed back, heading straight for the Golden Lotus. One of the advantages of the stingrays was their incredible speed. They were much faster than the Golden Lotus and caught up in an instant. The stingrays didn't bite but used all their strength to crash into the Golden Lotus. This collision was equivalent to a full-force attack from a Peak Supreme, and the Golden Lotus was momentarily halted. More and more stingrays flew in from all directions, crashing into the Golden Lotus without hesitation. The Golden Lotus was continuously hit, making it difficult to advance. The Buddha was furious, wanting to kill Xiaowu, but he couldn't break through. As a celestial venerable level treasure, the Golden Lotus had incredibly strong defenses, and the stingrays couldn't break through. Gradually, the stingrays' heads began to crack, becoming a bloody mess. But the stingrays kept crashing, their strength increasing, resembling a suicide attack. Indeed, the stingrays were committing suicide. The calf had ordered them to crash into the Golden Lotus until they died. The stingrays continuously crashed into the Golden Lotus from all directions, each collision equivalent to a full-force attack from a Peak Supreme. 17 Peak Supremes launched a relentless suicide attack on the Golden Lotus Buddha. Although the Golden Lotus had strong defenses, enough to withstand the attacks, it was continuously shaken and couldn't move. The Golden Lotus Buddha wanted to counterattack, but remembering the powerful self-destruction earlier, he hesitated. He was thus forced to a standstill in the starry sky by the stingray's relentless attacks, unable to advance or retreat. The calf whispered,
"Senior Red Star, let's retreat quickly."
The Red Star Supreme immediately understood the calf's intention and quickly retreated. He also concentrated all his power to withstand the impact. The Golden Lotus Buddha seemed to realize something, his eyes showing fear. Finally, a stingray launched the most powerful collision of its resurrected life. Its body shattered in the violent collision, exploding with a loud bang. It bid farewell to the world in the most violent way. Immediately after, the second, third, one by one, the stingrays charged towards the Golden Lotus Buddha amidst the explosion's aftermath, determined to die in front of the Buddha, leaving the explosion for him. The continuous explosions shattered even the deepest layers of space. The starry sky fell into eternal fragmentation, impossible to repair. The Red Star Supreme endured the massive aftermath, continuously roaring, flames boiling and forming a shield to block the impact. He had used all his strength, but the aftermath was too intense. The Red Star Supreme was continuously pushed back, flying billions of miles away. If he was in such a state, the Golden Lotus Buddha at the explosion center must be in a worse condition. Finally, after the explosion ceased, a faint golden light appeared. The Golden Lotus was now tattered, with all its petals shattered, its aura drastically weakened, no longer at the celestial venerable level. Even a celestial venerable level treasure couldn't withstand such a severe explosion and was severely damaged. As for the Buddha statue, it was even worse, with only a third remaining. The soul that the Golden Lotus Buddha had spent 2,000 years sending over was now half damaged. He no longer had the imposing aura he had when he first arrived, his voice trembling.
"You bastards, you all deserve to die."
But his threat was weak and powerless. Xiaowu poked her head out.
"He seems to be called the Golden Lotus Buddha. But now that the Golden Lotus is gone, what should we call him?"
The calf said.
"We should call him the Ancient Buddha."
Xiaowu shook her head.
"No, we should call him the Ancient Bald Donkey." "Yes, from now on, he's the Ancient Bald Donkey."
Being insulted again, the ancient Buddha trembled with rage. He suddenly roared, and the Buddha statue began to burn fiercely, while waves of killing intent swept across the starry sky. The Red Star Supreme was shocked.
He's burning his soul. He doesn't want the origin anymore. He wants to kill us.
A celestial venerable burning his soul could unleash unimaginable power. Even though he was severely injured, a celestial venerable was still a celestial venerable, and the power unleashed by burning his soul was not something they could withstand. Although knowing he couldn't stop him, the Red Star Supreme didn't retreat but said to Xiaowu,
You two leave quickly. I'll hold him off.
Xiaowu shook her head.
Don't worry. Master said we wouldn't be in danger.
The calf gritted its teeth, mooing,
I believe in Master too.
Lin Moyu had never made a mistake in his calculations, and the calf chose to trust him. The ancient Buddha's aura, burning his remaining soul, rose again, and new petals grew on the shattered golden lotus. This wasn't the treasure itself recovering but a virtual manifestation due to the restored power. Once the power was exhausted, the treasure would still be broken. Burning his soul, the ancient Buddha's aura returned to the peak supreme level. He carried killing intent.
I will kill you all.
The origin was already impossible to obtain, and even the treasure had to be left behind. A huge loss. Since that was the case, he decided to kill these people who had insulted him before failing, at least to vent his anger. A dragon roar suddenly sounded, green light spreading across the starry sky, and a green divine dragon appeared in the sky. Massive origin power surged in the starry sky, transforming into countless sharp swords, falling towards the ancient Buddha. Then, a storm howled, flames rising within the storm, turning into a firestorm. The ancient Buddha screamed,
Why are you back?
The azure dragon, vermilion bird, and white tiger attacked simultaneously. As origin divine beasts, their attacks contained origin power, not weaker than peak supremes. Especially the azure dragon, the strongest among the origin divine beasts, its combat power surpassed most peak supremes. The ancient Buddha, burning his soul, was engulfed by overwhelming attacks before he could strike. His voice disappeared under the origin power, his remaining soul completely annihilated, leaving only a broken golden lotus in the starry sky. The golden lotus lost its movement. Even as a celestial venerable level treasure, it was on the verge of collapse after such attacks. The 4 origin divine beasts arrived. Seeing the origin safe and sound, they sighed in relief. The Red Star Supreme also sighed in relief.
Luckily you arrived in time. Why did you come back?
The vermilion bird said.
Lin Moyu told us to come back.
The Red Star Supreme asked.
How is the situation on the Battle Realm side?
The 4 origin divine beasts shook their heads, indicating they didn't know. When they left, Lin Moyu was still fighting. But fortunately, they returned in time or the Red Star Supreme and the others would have been in danger. The human emperor appeared in the starry sky, bowing to them.
Thank you, seniors.
The vermilion bird glanced at him.
We didn't come to protect the human race. We only protect the origin. Even if all of you humans die, it has nothing to do with us.
2362 2362. Chapter 2362. Hope you're lucky. The human emperor was stunned on the spot, feeling somewhat awkward for a moment. Fortunately, he knew the temper of the origin divine beasts, as Lin Moyu had told him before. The origin divine beasts only protected the great world. The life and death of the human race were of no concern to them. In their eyes, even if the human race were to perish, as long as the great world remained, it would eventually give birth to new beings and races. They could die for the great world, or they could coldly watch the human race be annihilated. In fact, the Red Star Supreme was no different. It was just a matter of different stances with no right or wrong. The human emperor did not respond either. He did not want to explain anything to the origin divine beasts, as there was no need. If anyone could make the origin divine beasts look up to them, it might only be Lin Moyu. The Star Elder finally arrived, and seeing that everything was fine here, he also breathed a sigh of relief. The Red Star Supreme asked,
4 of you, how is the situation in the Battle Realm?
As a Supreme, the Red Star Supreme was given some face by the Origin Divine Beasts. The spokesperson for the Divine Beasts, the Vermilion Bird, said,
Lin Moyu is currently fighting with the Battle Realm. He is very strong and has many trump cards. We don't need to worry.
The Red Star Supreme had already thought of this. Since peak Supremes like the Stingrays were placed here, Lin Moyu must have even more trump cards against the Battle Realm. The Red Star Supreme asked again,
Why did you four come back?
The Vermilion Bird replied,
Lin Moyu asked us to come back, saying something happened here and we should come to support.
The Red Star Supreme murmured,
He really thought of everything. This kid is truly impressive.
In fact, the 4 Origin Divine Beasts returned for another reason. They found that in the struggle with the Battle Realm, their presence or absence made no difference. They realized that their role in facing the Battle Realm's attacks was very limited, so they decided to return here. They remembered that when they left, the 100 Battle Supreme and Mu Nanner were already watching the show. Lin Moyu had too many trump cards, one after another, seemingly endless. Listening to their conversation, the Human Emperor and the Star Elder also felt relieved. They also trusted Lin Moyu, as his arrangements had never been wrong. The starry sky became quiet, and they surrounded the Origin, waiting silently. One day later, Xiaowu suddenly shouted excitedly,
Master is back.
She sensed Lin Moyu returning to the domain at an astonishing speed. A minute later, a space gate appeared in the starry sky, and Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu flew out from it. Xiaowu excitedly rushed over and clung to Lin Moyu again. Lin Mohan reached out and ruffled Xiaowu's hair, making her hair look like a bird's nest. Seeing Lin Moyu suddenly return, the Azure Dragon frowned.
What about the Battle Realm?
The Vermilion Bird also asked.
How did the battle with the Battle Realm go?
In their view, the battle should have lasted for some time. After all, it had only been a day since they left. Lin Moyu smiled.
It's already resolved.
Everyone was stunned. The Vermilion Bird couldn't believe it.
Resolved? All 29 Battle Emperors killed?
Lin Moyu nodded.
All killed. We won this war.
Everyone found it unbelievable. A war prepared for over 1,000 years was won just like that. The 4 Origin Divine Beasts found it hard to believe, exchanged glances, and decided to check it out. Seeing is believing. Lin Moyu had no objections. He waved his hand in the starry sky, and the power of space surged, opening a space gate leading to the starry sky millions of light years away. The 4 Origin Divine Beasts rushed through the space gate, heading out of the domain. The Human Emperor wanted to ask how they won, but he didn't speak up. Now was not the time. Lin Moyu looked around and saw the damaged golden lotus still floating in the starry sky. He could tell at a glance that this golden lotus was unusual. Moreover, the starry sky still had strong residual auras, indicating a fierce battle had just taken place here.
Nyo, tell me what happened earlier.
The calf honestly recounted the events, neither exaggerating nor hiding anything. Lin Moyu murmured,
Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha. A Supreme Buddha, and the Ancient Buddha should be a celestial venerable. The Great Shami Realm, is it a world or a place? I'll remember this name and return the favor in the future.
Lin Moyu was not someone who liked to suffer losses. Since they came, he would return the favor in the future. Lin Moyu approached the damaged golden lotus, placed his hand on it, and injected his soul power. He wanted to see what was special about this celestial venerable level treasure, especially the Buddhist treasure, how strong it was. A huge force surged from the golden lotus, attacking Lin Moyu's soul.
Still resisting.
Lin Moyu snorted, and his soul power transformed into a giant fist, striking back. The soul powers collided, causing Lin Moyu's body to tremble slightly, gaining no advantage. This already damaged celestial venerable level treasure still had immense power and couldn't be easily refined. Suddenly, a Buddhist chant echoed in the soul world, and a soul shadow appeared in Lin Moyu's soul world. Lin Moyu sneered.
Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha, I didn't expect you to have a remnant soul hidden here. It seems you don't want to give up.
The golden lotus ancient Buddha's eyes were cold.
Even if I fail, I will take someone down with me. A supreme soul, less than 2,000 years old, you must be the Lin Moyu that the ox mentioned. Truly young and promising. But today, you will die.
He had learned about Lin Moyu from the sacred ox supreme and now matched him with the soul he saw. Lin Moyu smiled lightly.
I give you two choices. Tell me everything about the great Shami realm, and I will let you dissipate on your own. Or I will burn you to death, and I guarantee the process will be very painful. Of course, you are just a remnant soul, separated by worlds, so your true body shouldn't feel the pain. Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha, right? I've remembered your name. Bald Donkey, make your choice.
Lin Moyu's words were extremely casual, giving no face to the other party, ending with calling him a bald donkey. The ancient Buddha was thoroughly enraged, roaring,
You seek death.
The remnant soul transformed into a Buddha statue, with a great sun rising above it and a golden lotus blooming beneath its feet. He used a Buddhist secret technique, preparing to kill Lin Moyu with his last strength. Lin Moyu chuckled.
This is my rule world. What are you thinking?
With a thought, the bone hell in the rule world surged, appearing before Lin Moyu and enveloping the remnant soul. All attacks fell into the bone hell, causing it to shake violently but not shatter. Lin Moyu smiled.
It works.
Attacking the bone hell naturally marked it, allowing him to attack through the mark. Lin Moyu discovered that two marks were created, one before him and the other in a distant place. This meant that the distant mark locked onto the true body of the Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha in the Great Shami realm. With the mark completed, the remnant soul before him lost its value.
Since you won't speak, then never speak again.
The world-burning flame rose, transforming into a sea of fire that engulfed the remnant soul. To deal with a celestial venerable soul, the world-burning flame was the best choice. Screams echoed in the sea of fire, and Lin Moyu adjusted the firepower to let him enjoy it longer. At the same time, a corpse appeared in Lin Moyu's hand, the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable.
Let's see how lucky you are.
He whispered, and a drop of ancestral water flew out, burning with billions of belief power. Technique: Corpse Explosion. 2363 2363. Chapter 2363. Exterminate completely or let them die out. In a place called the Great Shami Realm, this is the ancestral land of the Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha. The supreme title of the Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha is the Great Sun Golden Lotus of Supreme Golden Light. In the Buddhist clan, the term
Buddha
is very broad. Anyone who is the highest in a certain realm and has the strongest cultivation can call themselves Buddha. But
Heavenly Buddha,
represents a realm equivalent to the supreme realm,
Ancient Buddha,
is equivalent to the celestial venerable realm. As for the titles like Golden Light, Great Sun, Golden Lotus, they are mostly self-given Buddhist names, seen as boastful by many non-Buddhists. Those of the same realm generally call him the Golden Lotus Buddha. In the Great Shami realm, the sound of Buddhist chants echoed, and the Golden Lotus Ancient Buddha was preaching. Under him, there were 108 heavenly Buddhas. The heavenly Buddhas listened with closed eyes, cultivating in the sound of Buddha, comprehending profound Buddhist teachings, and enhancing their cultivation. They hoped that one day, they too could step into the realm of the ancient Buddha and be revered as a Buddha. Unfortunately, over countless years, many heavenly Buddhas have appeared in the Great Shami realm, but there has only ever been one ancient Buddha. Above the Great Shami realm, a golden lotus slowly rotated, scattering countless golden lights. In the eyes of countless Buddhists, the Golden Lotus Buddha was omnipotent and boundless in Buddhist teachings. Suddenly, the golden lotus in the sky stopped abruptly, and the scattered golden light instantly disappeared. The sound of Buddha stopped in an instant, followed by a roar that resounded throughout the Great Shami realm. The ground shook, and the golden lotus shattered. The heavenly Buddhas were awakened by the sudden roar, and when they saw what happened, Their eyes were filled with horror. The Golden Lotus Buddha, who was preaching, suddenly shattered, and the Buddha light on his body dissipated into nothingness. Everyone was stunned on the spot, and the atmosphere became extremely silent and oppressive. After a moment, a cry finally broke the silence.
The Buddha has passed away.
It was not clear which heavenly Buddha shouted, but the other heavenly Buddhas finally reacted. They quickly gathered around the Golden Lotus Buddha and found that he was indeed dead. His body was shattered, his soul annihilated, dead beyond any doubt. The Golden Lotus Buddha, who was preaching just a moment ago, suddenly passed away, which was unacceptable.
Who did this?
The heavenly Buddhas all had this question in their hearts, but they couldn't figure it out. Even the Golden Lotus Buddha himself probably didn't know how he died. So how could outsiders know? Someone said,
Quickly report this to the Buddhist world and let the Buddhas there decide. Yes, quickly report to the Buddhist world, hurry.
The great Shami realm fell into chaos, and the heavenly Buddhas were extremely panicked. Lin Moyu detonated the corpse of the purple-robed celestial venerable, causing a corpse explosion aimed at the Golden Lotus ancient Buddha in the distant great Shami realm. The corpse explosion ignored time and space, fully demonstrating its characteristics. After the spell, the distant mark disappeared.
Is he dead? Or was the mark erased?
Lin Moyu could feel his mark disappear but didn't know what happened. The distance was too far out of sight and touch. Anyway, he was sure that the corpse explosion was successful. Even if the Golden Lotus ancient Buddha didn't die, he wouldn't be well off. For the first time, Lin Moyu performed a corpse explosion over such a long distance and had a new understanding. The corpse explosion seemed to trigger a mysterious power, a power with the characteristics of laws, but not the laws of the great world, rather the laws of the great Tao beyond the world. It was somewhat similar to the great Tao laws of the divine power Lich. It was precisely because of the existence of the great Tao laws that the corpse explosion could truly ignore time and space. Not just crossing time and space within the great world, but also ignoring time and space beyond the great world. This made Lin Moyu view the corpse explosion differently, feeling its uniqueness. Now, Lin Moyu's realm was different, and his understanding of spells was completely different from before. He thought of the resurrection of the dead he had used before, which was in a small world, resurrecting a Zerg. The Zerg was not a creature of the great world. If the resurrection of the dead was just a spell at the level of the great world, it would be impossible to resurrect the Zerg. Both the resurrection of the dead and the corpse explosion transcended the limitations of the great world. The laws they invoked seemed to be related to the great Tao laws. Even if they left the great world, they could still function fully. In stark contrast were spells like the Undying Undead. The Undying Undead lost its effect once it left the great world. The difference in spells made Lin Moyu feel strange.
If my spell system is a complete inheritance, why is there such a contradiction? In that case, the Bone Hell also seems to transcend the great world. The heavenly dragon mentioned that there is a real hell in their world. Is the Bone Hell connected to that hell?
Lin Moyu muttered to himself, feeling that the questions he was pondering were too advanced for him to answer now. After all, he was still just a half-step supreme, far from the level needed to answer these questions. The world-burning flame disappeared, and the remnant soul of the Golden Lotus ancient Buddha had been burned away. The already damaged Golden Lotus treasure became motionless and was easily taken by Lin Moyu. This treasure was severely damaged, and no one in the human race could repair it. To others, it was a piece of celestial venerable level trash, but to Lin Moyu it was a valuable item with great use. Seeing Lin Moyu wake up, the human emperor asked,
"What happened?"
Lin Moyu replied,
"There was a remnant soul of the Golden Lotus Buddha in the treasure. He tried to take me down with him, but he failed."
Lin Moyu spoke lightly, but the danger was evident. The Golden Lotus Buddha was a celestial venerable. Even a remnant soul was terrifying. He just happened to kick a steel plate. If it were anyone else, even the Red Star Supreme, they would have been severely injured if not dead. Lin Moyu said,
"Now that the battle realm is defeated and the Golden Lotus Buddha is exterminated, How do you think we should deal with the remaining people of the battle realm?
The human emperor asked.
What do you think is the best way to deal with them?
Lin Moyu chuckled.
2 options. One is to exterminate the battle realm completely, leaving no one alive. The other is to exile them, banishing them from the battle realm.
Lin Moyu said there were 2 options, but in reality, there was only one. The remaining people in the battle realm were not strong, with only a few starfighters left. Exiling them to the realm sea would most likely result in their death. It was just the difference between killing them directly and letting them die on their own. The human emperor analyzed the data and concluded,
I think it's better to leave none alive.
The Star Elder also said in a low voice,
Indeed, we shouldn't leave any. If they have any fortuitous encounters in the realm sea and survive, they will always be a threat to the great world.
Lin Moyu said,
You both think the same as I do. I also think it's better to kill them all to avoid any causal entanglements. In that case, let me be the villain.
Lin Moyu spoke casually, but everyone could feel his killing intent. Lin Moyu indeed preferred to exterminate completely, as dealing with causal entanglements was too troublesome. In ancient times, the strong in the great world were too kind, not severing causal ties, leading to the current situation. Lin Moyu didn't want to repeat the same mistake. The reason he asked was more to respect the human emperor and the Star Elder, as they were the leaders of the human race. Their agreement with his thoughts was the best outcome. Lin Mohan naturally understood her brother's thoughts.
Then I'll leave the rest to you, Xiaoyu. I'm going home to see my sister-in-law. Xiaowu, lead the way.
Xiaowu cheerfully responded.
Niu will lead the way.
2364 2364